2018, the year Blitzwich came into fruition. It's also the year I wanted a wall put up to divide my room. I really don't remember why I wanted to split the room in half. I think it was one of those cases where I went to my dad and I was like, imagine if I had a half bedroom and half movie room. And I'm sure that got his gears turning. I came home one day and boom, the wall was erected. With the room being so long, I think I felt I wanted a normal bedroom, but I also wanted a collection room. When everything is shoved into one room, I'm sure my brain was just feeling cluttered with all the colors. Before I continue, I will state, this next era of the game room probably had more changes and rearrangements than I could count on my fingers, so for the sake of simplicity and I simply don't have enough photos, I will only be discussing what was the most memorable. When you first walked into the room, you were greeted with a stereo, dresser, and my bed. I believe when the wall was first put up, I had the stereo cabinet in the movie side, but I felt music fit the bedroom aesthetic more than the movies. Which weirdly enough, I still stick with that decorating style, even today, but I'll get to that later. Midway through the room was a big framed wall with a black cloth stapled to it. To get to the other side, there was just a slit in the fabric which acted as a doorway. It was like walking into another world. It's one part of my collection that I wish I could go back to. It was such a cozy part of the room, especially since it was where you watch movies. You could close the blinds and the whole room would be blacked out. Don't even get me started on if you had a space heater on that side. It was just an awesome, hell, I'll say it, man cave. So what did I keep on the movie side? Well, VHS, cameras, Pepsi, at one point the Marty McFly jacket from part 2, laser discs, and of course, the media players. How could I forget the green screen wall? So when I started making videos on Blitzwich, I wanted to lean more towards live action content, not just animations and gaming, but more skits. So I purchased a green screen, and through a very backwards ass way, which involved using my phone as a webcam, which was then put into OBS, which is why very early videos had such an awful chroma key, I was able to experiment with green screen. Now, going back to the basement, the game room stayed roughly the same, except it didn't. This is around the time where we got that lovely, lovely gamer couch. Let me tell you, that couch is way comfier than it should be. You lay down and instantly get knocked out. It was actually a ding and dent couch from a discount store, so the back wood piece is broken, and so you just sink. I love it. Anyways, wait, have I mentioned the futon? Okay, so we got a new couch because we had this futon that was unbearably uncomfortable. That futon went upstairs in the movie side of the room for a while, which then got swapped out for that lounge chair and ottoman. Where was I? Right, so this is around the time we got the gamer couch. Instead of it up against the closet door, I put it in the middle of the room. That way I can have shelves just circling around you. That means we removed one TV and moved the other to a different wall. Thankfully, 2019 wasn't too much different. A couple of game room changes. Instead of throwing controllers in a drawer, we did this pegboard idea, which is, well, let's just say a much better idea on paper. The 6-cube shelf went behind the couch, and the oval coffee table, well, it's a TV stand, but I used it as a coffee table, which then became a TV stand. Upstairs, I'll just point out a couple things. First, I had this awful idea to hot glue poster board and wood to make a VHS shelf. Yeah, I came home one day and the whole thing was just obliterated from the weight. A couple new shelves, media cabinet, and the removal of the futon. But most importantly, the famous Blitzwich backdrop. The accumulation of my hobbies and bits from Blitzwich videos. I only used it for like 3 videos until I ripped it apart. But man, I love this little setup. It's like, if you could define who you were and what you liked and did, that's what this shelf represented. That's about it though for 2019. Hopefully a fast-spreading disease doesn't shut down the whole world. 2020. This is the year we got that humongous but beautiful 80s entertainment center. Quick side story, we got that at an estate sale for cheap. And without any measuring, my dad and I said, yeah, that'll fit. Bring it home and surprise, you have to stretch your neck so high that you're basically looking at the ceiling. I was pretty disappointed, so my dad carries it back up and, not even exaggerating, cuts the whole thing in half. About half of its depth, a foot off the top and the side. Around the same time, I tore down the wall, mainly because I wanted to fit my computer desk in my bedroom rather than the guest room. So down that goes. Now, what you guys don't realize is that I tore that whole thing down myself. When I was recording 1/4, I did 2 takes. I wanted to get a more realistic fall, so this one. Yeah, the one where the wall crushes my skull. There was a screw not even 2 inches from my head. I literally could have died right there. When March 13th came, I shifted away from upstairs and stayed in the basement. I was a disgusting troll during this time. I don't think I showered for a week straight. I watched a lot of movies down there. In my first 100 movie review, I watched them pretty much all in the basement game room. As much as I loved that game room, after practically living down there for 2 months and hearing pipes sloshing and walls creaking, I had to do something I've never done before. Move. So yes, I moved everything back upstairs. Now how am I going to fit it all? Well, I convinced my parents that we will do a trade. I will give them the game room downstairs in exchange for the guest room. Done deal. So the guest room, which already housed my desk, became my permanent bedroom, and the video game, movie, Pepsi, potpourri, whatever you want to call it room, became, well, the next game room. Alright, I think it's time to wrap this up. Real quick, here are some photos of 2021. As far as I can tell, nothing notable changed. This is when moving furniture became a little harder because everything started to find its place, which I'll get into all of that in the next video. Finally, here are some illustrations of the room, just to give a better idea of how things have changed. If you guys want to see the next couple years, you're gonna have to wait, because 2022 onward will just take way too long. So I'm gonna stop it right here. I am excited for the next video because it is going to be the last one until we get to the future. And I'm pretty excited to show off what I've been working on the past 8 months, I believe. So stay tuned.